Good day, everybody. How are you guys? And welcome to my channel, The Pacer Racer here. Um, yeah, so we're basically busy on, well, today is going to be Testy Tuesdays. But there's something I want to actually do for Testy Tuesdays. I'm going to try a new game today, actually. Well, it depends on if it downloads quick enough, though. And the game will be Race Room Racing Experience. Now, let me see. So, basically, it's 62.7 gig, as you can see. We already had a gig. I just started. Well, it says 3 hours. Let's say 3 hours. So there's a massive possibility that we are going to do that today. I want to test it out. I've never tried it before, but seeing as I really do want to do racing, this might be a good place to start as well. But otherwise, yeah, we're just gonna have some fun today. Unfortunately, we cannot play any music. That sucks. Otherwise, we'll get copyrighted, which is okay. It's one of those things. But what I'm going to do is, yeah, I just want to just play a little bit live. I'll be maybe on here for an hour or something like that. We'll see. Give me a second, please. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah. Um, so I'm gonna be doing this for maybe an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see. But one thing I do want to do, or one thing I actually did, when was it? This morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't trained to Bandone, and yeah, I just took the Maserati. What was it? The SUV. Let me just go to Maserati. Yeah, the Levante S, just for a spin around that circuit with automatic. Hold on. Whew. Sorry, chat. So, and it was actually good fun though. It really was some good fun. Now, I normally don't want to do what do you call it, like modded tracks. At the moment, I want to do base game, but I'm just in the mood for something, you know, off base game until the download is finished. So what we'll do is we'll basically take, let's stick with the Toyota. Rear wheel drive vehicle, 200 horsepower, 205 newton meter torque, which is not too bad. 7.6, so it's a decent car. It's not too bad. Just want to see naturally aspirated four-cylinder engine that uses Subaru's horizontal opposed. Okay, just want to see though. Yeah, but I'm not sure what engine it is though. Is this a 2015 model? Um, so we'll see. Toyota GT86 2015 model. Let me see. I like doing this. Toyota GT86 uh 2015 specs. I just want to see what type of engine it is. 2 liter naturally aspirated Subaru Boxer four-cylinder engine. Oh, not too bad. 174 kilowatts. Not too bad. 197. Yeah, so I mean 3 horsepower, it's not too bad. 205 newton meter torque. 53 to 47 weight distribution. I wonder if does that mean like front to back though? I wonder if that, yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, not too bad though. Where's the chat? There we go. There's chat. Actually need to get my phone. And the reason why is because for some other reason I see you guys gonna break up maybe a little bit. Give me a second. Yeah, sorry about that. So what I do see is that sometimes what was I don't know. Oh yeah, this is what I want to say. So when you go into a track, because it's on full screen and I'm running a single monitor, it's sometimes a bit difficult as the what do you call it? The whatever the chat just doesn't show because it's a single monitor. You have to run it on borderless, and I don't want to do that. So I'm using my phone as a chat device, which for me, I don't know, it just works a bit better though. And also I can see how many viewers that's is on here though. Oh man, sorry. Just want to share this. Yeah, and then yeah, let's do that. Okay, there we go. That's done. Um, that is done and done. And then what we're going to do, I need to share it one more time. Give me a second. Let's do that. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, so I am going to be talking while I'm driving. I am. It's not something I normally do, but seeing as I'm a bit live today, yeah, we'll do that. So, uh, I can see you guys chat on my phone. So, give me a second. Just need to get on my phone here. All the beautiful prep work. We'll begin now. Just give me 1 second. There we go. And yeah, oh, that's weird. Phone for some odd reason. Hold on. Stand there. Stand still. Stand still. There we go. There we go. Okay. So just give me a second. Lord, thank you so much for the opportunity to do this live stream. Please bless everyone that watches the stream, and even if they don't watch the stream, please bless them. If it's in your will, please let us, please let your light shine through us to work in your name, in accordance to your will, not ours. And thank you so much for everything, God. I do appreciate everything, and bless the stream. Amen. Okay, so let's get started. Like I said, I don't normally do modded tracks. But yeah, today we're just gonna have a little bit of fun with it. Um, well, let's do Ice Silver, and then Momonji. If I'm not mistaken, I think Momonji. Obviously, I think it's a Japanese track. Yeah, Japanese track. Um, Toga. Yeah. Oh well, let's see how this goes. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. Now, I do believe some of the track is missing. You'll see what I'm saying, what I mean by some of the track is missing. So it's not the physical track that's missing. It's basically the edges. So the person who made this track, I'm not sure who it is. Um, yeah, so kudos to you for making the track. Awesome track though, but the trees and stuff like that is missing. So the guardrails are there and that's working perfectly fine. But the trees, yeah, for some other reason, the what do you call it? Like the heat boxes. I call it heat boxes, but it's basically what it is. It's yeah, sort of heat boxes. So yeah, that's just missing. It's gone. So if I do run off the track, yeah, I'm going through trees. There's no stopping the car going through the track or well through the trees. So, but that's not what we're gonna do today. We're not gonna drive the living daylights out of the vehicle. Although, I mean, it's just a 2 liter. So what we'll do is we'll just do street tires, Echo E. So that I think it's comfort. I think this has to be comfort tires. So we'll do street tires. We'll do about 30 psi. Now 30 psi, if I'm not mistaken, that is round about 2.2. I think 2.2 or 2.3 bar pressure. Yeah, I don't think we need 30 liters of fuel, but you know what? Let's keep it as is. Traction control, that stays there, that stays there. Okay. So let's see. Um, yeah, so I'm not sure if we need to drive the vehicle in this view, or if I want to drive it in this view. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see, but I must be honest, I have fallen in love with this view because I know it's not a real vehicle, so please don't get me wrong there. It's just simulation, and but I still do like the view. It's still, you know, just helps a little bit with, I don't know if I can say realism, but I don't know. I've seen it with when I was on train to Bondone on the, what do you call it, on that track there, that it just helps a little bit, you know, going through the corners and stuff. I'm not sure why though, but yeah, it's, I don't know, it just helps. Whoop-a-days. Yeah, just a little bit too quick in that into the corners here. Just want to see. So I don't know this track, honestly. I haven't driven this track all the way down. I haven't seen the track before. The reason I actually downloaded this track was for the traffic mod, but I cannot get that to work. Honestly, I don't know how to get it to work. I've tried a couple of things. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's what it is. Just want to see, man, this, yeah, that's a sharp corner. Goodness me, yeah, that's, well, 2 sharp corners. But I believe this would be a good track to practice on, like if if you're starting to learn tight corners and stuff like that. Between this one, Trento Bondone, and what other track is there that's actually quite good? I'm trying. Oh yeah, and then the Highland Short track as well. So that is also quite a good track to, you know, test your braking and stuff. Yeah, I'm going off. There we go. Thought so. That was beautiful. Going to have to give my license back there. Is if I bought it in a lucky packet. There we go. Not too bad. 100 kilometers an hour. Man, that's actually quite quick. If you think it's a very narrow road and you don't know the road, so going that type of speed through here, that's a bit of a no-no situation, in my opinion. I'm gonna hit that corner. Yeah, also I knew that was gonna happen. It's like when you're driving, or when I drove the Trento Bondone track as well. I normally hated the track. Honestly, I did. And the reason why is because the track is so narrow and I didn't know the track. But I've seen one thing with me: the more I get used to a track, the more I love a track. It's with any track like that. There's literally, I think there's one track I really don't like, but all the others, yeah, there's not one track after that one that, oh man, that was a bad bump. That I just fall in love with tracks and cars. I don't know why. It's just something about me. And the thing is, I don't want to race to win. I just want to race because, you know, because I like it. It's just because I love cars. I love driving. Yeah, and I must be honest, for a person that does not drive fast on, you know, roads and stuff, I don't have a heavy foot. I would love to go onto a racetrack, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, that wasn't bad. Must be honest, what is this trees called? Cherry blossom trees, I believe. Yeah, cherry blossom trees, I think that's what they're called in Japan, and they quite look good in the game though. or whoever made this track, yeah, not too bad. Kudos to that person. There we go. Get those brakes in there. And you'll see I'm running automatic at the moment. It's just basically to learn the track. So that's why I'm running automatic. I can run manual and drive a bit slower though. It is possible for me to do that. But I know myself well enough to know that I will speed up eventually. Just this how I am. So yeah. Yeah. Good job. 12 minutes 10 is 2 is reg. Rustless. Het jy 'n calculator gebruik of het jy jou boetjie uitgewerk? My groot is? Ja, maar jy kan nie die klok gebruik vir wiskunde my groot is. Jy kan, maar net tot by 12. Net tot by 12, nie verder as dit nie. Maar dit is 'n good job. Dit is 'n good job, jy's reg, jy kan dit gebruik. Maar soos jy sê, net tot by 12. Ja, maar dit is goed, want jy leer nooit. Solank jy nie 'n calculator gebruik. Ja, en dit gee vir jou 12. Okay. Ja. Kry jy? Exactly. Oeh, God. Ons amper. Good job, my grootseun. Wat is 12 minus 5? So wat jy doen is, jy sit nou jou 12 daar, en dan trek jy eers 2 af, en dan jy 10, en dan jy nog 3 oor, wat jy moet wegvat. That's hy, good job. Almal sukkel om dit reg op te hou, maar as jy oefen, jy moet net elke dag oefen, dan gaan jy dit reg kry. Dis hoekom mense oefen, dis hoekom pappa oefen wat ek oefen. Sodat die mense dit elke dag kan doen en reg kry. Wat gaan nou hier aan? Ja, jy kan, maar sit net sagter. Oh, any case, okay, I'm back, chat. Oh man, this is... I see some of the textures on the left-hand side is missing though. So I see the far distance textures is gone, like completely gone. So yeah. But otherwise, not a bad track. I must be honest, ouch. The car does respond better than I thought it will in the track. But for some other reason, the road does feel a bit more, but I do think it's because I'm downhill. The road does feel a bit more slippery, to be honest with you. And another thing is, I'm so glad I'm not paying the damages on the vehicle, because I'm driving currently like a arcade person and not a sim racing person. Ooh, this is going to be a crash. Okay, it's not a long track though, but honestly, if I have to choose between this and some of the other tracks, yeah, I'm gonna choose the other tracks. I mean, there's a lot better tracks though. But I do miss my track. As soon as I've got money, I'm gonna buy my track, my Northcliffe track. I miss that track with my life. Like, yeah, you guys just don't understand how much I miss that. Ooh, let's do a little bit of. I think. Mense kry nie so nie my grootseun. O, werk hy nie. Hy's dalk nie mooi ingeplak nie, hou vas. Skus gou groot is. Okay, sit hom nou aan. Kyk of hy nou aankom. As hy dink hy kom nou aan. Sjoe, okay, so I'm back. Ja, ek dink druk hom net weer my groot seun. As hy gaan nou aankom. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I think I'm going to do a Highlands long truck. And let's take another vehicle though. What is something? Oh, we haven't used the rough. I'm actually scared of this car though. And the reason is that this Porsche has got the same sickness as the Cobra. Well, it's a rough, but it's a British version of the Porsche. Yeah, and this thing has got really the same problem as that Cobra though. This might be a bad idea. This is going to be such a bad idea. But you know what? Let's do it. Very bad idea, but you know what? I don't care. Good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. We just do it. Almost 500 horsepower. Highlands long. Now I'm wondering, because they say Fantasy Scotland, I'm wondering if this road actually exists in Scotland, or because it says Fantasy that it's something that Kunos made. Yeah, that's a thing. Not sure though. Okay, so let me see. This is such a bad idea. Yeah, I'm gonna make the gear ratio a lot, well, not sure if it's more or less though. 11, I need to find out actually what that means though. I'm gonna definitely drop the PSI because I need that traction, street. Let's do street. That's fine. Electronic. Now I'm gonna drop the turbo to 50%. Alignment. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the diff as is. Let's do that. And then brake power 100. No, I'm gonna make it 90%. Oh, this is such a bad idea. But you know what? Forgot I'm on auto. Damn, I shouldn't have actually been in auto. I don't think these cars came out in auto. We can check, but I doubt it. Man, these things move. Yeah, I should have not done auto gearbox. And brake power should, yeah. Where's our speed though? Damn, I cannot see the speed clearly. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Almost thought it was gonna happen to me as well though. I wonder what tires these guys are running. Are they also running similar to what I'm running? Because I put on the street tires though. Yeah, this is gonna hit. No, it's not. Thank goodness for that. Oh no, oversteer. Look, it's not as bad as the Cobra, because the Cobra is bad. Like, the Cobra is insane bad. Yeah, almost 200 kilometers an hour. To be so careful with this freaking yellow bird. Somewhat it was an accident. But I mean, think about it this way. You have to brake from 200 kilometers an hour to almost 0 kilometers an hour, but with this speed and everything, it's a little bit difficult. I mean, we put it at 380 kilometers an hour, and I don't think this car will ever reach that, but we're already at 250 kilometers an hour. I wonder if that's miles or kilometers. That is a good question though. For some other reason, I think somebody's gonna mess up in front though. I just have a sneaky suspicion though. Locking the front right tire though. Yeah, this car should not be driven automatic. It just doesn't feel right though. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slam the brakes here somewhere. Nah, this is too late. Yeah, too late. So I think what I'll do is I'm definitely gonna have to bring this to 100 though. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring this to 100. Turbo, let me put the turbo to 70% though. Yeah, let's do that. Oh crap, hold on. Sorry. Man, I wish I had my, what do you call it? An H shifter. That would be so cool though. I know this is gonna sound weird, but I think that's the one reason I like racing is because shifting gears. I just don't know why though. Something about shifting gears for me that just does it. I think 100 is maybe too much though, but we'll see. Let's see what the semi-slicks do. Holy moly! Yeah, these cars just love to drive on their brakes, don't they? Kind of. No. Ooh, no. Yeah, just like the Cobra. That actually felt worse than the Cobra, to be honest with you. You have to be so careful with the throttle with this car. So careful. I think I actually need to bring out the gear meter. Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's a good idea to bring out that gear meter. Yeah, this is worse than the Cobra though. Man, if I drive like this in real life, I will kick myself. So unfortunately where things are. But the thing is, you cannot feel the car underneath you, that's the thing. So everything is, you can feel it in the steering wheel, but most of it is visuals. And I know that sounds like excuses, but still. I just knew that was gonna happen. I don't see now what her top speed is though, if we can ever reach that. $250, $260. Not too bad, 280, 290. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah, she just does not have the brakes. You're gonna have to brake so much earlier than you expect with her. Well, obviously, coming from 300 kilometers an hour. So yeah, it's kind of expected. Damn. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I need to get used to her though. This is the only way to do it though. If you want to get used to a car, just drive and keep driving and drive and drive. That's the only thing you can do. Well, to be honest with you, drive slower. Because what I'm currently doing is playing bumper cars just to basically learn the vehicle. But look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I said she was worse than the Cobra. She actually is not. It's just some of the things you have to get used to versus with the Cobra. Like her braking distance, yeah, that is a one you have to get used to though. And then not accelerate through the floorboard. Otherwise, if you do that, she's gonna spin out. Then she's definitely gonna leave you. And the one thing that helps actually as well is get to know your track though. Because it doesn't matter what vehicle you drive, as long as you know your track, that helps a lot as well. Because you sort of learn your braking points with your other vehicles, and then you kind of just apply a little bit forward or backwards with whatever vehicle you're driving, or a quicker vehicle or more difficult vehicle there. Yeah, this is not going to end up good. Yeah, make space for this guy. I want to see that ramp in replay. Oh man, I thought that guy was gonna make an accident. Damn, I thought that was gonna happen. Luckily it didn't, but I just saw that coming from a mile away though. That went a lot smoother though. Yeah. Damn, I need to see that replay. Oh man, that was insane. I should watch that from the rear though. Locking up those brakes. Shows you how quickly you actually can make an accident though. Oh yeah, that was a spin out. Should have guessed that though. Yeah, there we go. I love cars. I just freaking love cars. Oh, yes, fine, bonus. I wonder if we can see the ramp. Yeah, I think we just missed it though. Come on. Yeah, I think now we can see it. You cannot actually see it. Oh, there we go. That was quite hefty. Man, is there another angle there? Jeez Louise, that's bad. Yeah, and then I actually followed this yellow car, which was a bad idea though. But yeah. Um, drop this to. I want to see if we can drop it to 80%. I want to see what it does though. Why is that guy standing like that? That is so weird though. That was too close. Ooh, that was bad. See, I don't understand that though. Actually, shouldn't spin out. There was no way for the car to spin out. Just, it's not possible though. I know it sounds weird coming from my mouth, but yeah, it's not possible. The car should not spin out. That's why they say Assetto Corsa is like driving on ice. Ja, dat is nog een smoking. That was a lot of fun, but I was so wrong in so many ways, but it was so much fun though. I cannot lie, that was actually fun. That's not how you drive, but that was extremely fun though. Yeah, that's nonsense, to be honest with you. Sliding on 40 kilometers an hour, yeah, I don't understand how that's even possible. Doesn't make sense to me though. I want to see if that actually can happen in real life. Whoa. Keep in your lane, buddy boy. Ouch. Man, that was actually fun. Yeah, that rough is rough. To be honest with you, that thing is, oof. But that is so much fun to drive. I cannot lie to you guys. That is amazing. Yeah, that vehicle is insane. Let me see what the Merc can do. The Mercedes SLS AMG 2009. Really? Oh, damn it. Oh. Mhm. Man, modern cars help so much more with all the traction and everything like that. So much easier to drive a modern vehicle, which kind of sucks. Defeats the whole purpose of racing though. Don't get me wrong, I love a modern car, but still. just knew it. Oh man. Came into that corner way too hot. Dude, don't brake. Yeah, actually you can see the axle is broken. Not broken, but damaged. I can even feel it on the steering wheel as well. Man, but it's so fun driving this vehicle. Just want one clean lap. Doesn't matter. Just one clean lap. That's all I'm looking for though. Cannot wait to see what this thing can do now to open her up. But just to get one clean lap, that will be awesome though. So I think the last time, I think we got about 306 something kilometers an hour. Man, she's becoming very unstable on the ramps or the bumps. Let me see what I can get with her. 296, 299, not bad. 38, 39, 311, 15. Yeah, 309 is not bad though. But we're gonna have to brake. Yeah, so I would say 311. We could have done a bit better though. But 311 is not bad. It's not bad at all. En daai rooi junk, ek kan nie rooi junk met groot is. Ag nou, okay, dan sal ek nou is daar nie. Just need to brake a little bit earlier here. Normally I mess that braking spot up. And this one here as well. I need to brake a lot earlier. No. Oh no, she became unstable. And she took to the air. Let me just see. No, that sucks so bad. Oh no, come on. Man, an accident can happen so quickly. It's like in the blink of an eye. Just like, toop, gone. Oh man. Oh, we had such an awesome run. That was so good. So good. Oopsies. No, what happened? I think my phone fell on my escape button. Man, it shows you anything can happen. Blink of an eye, it's gone. Yeah, I think it was here. Ah, jeez, ouch. Ooh, yeah, I'm not paying for those damages. I am not paying for those damages. Well, obviously, if I must, I must. But yeah, I just want to see how far this game is that we're downloading. So race room is 21 gig. Okay, let's go. I want to actually take this Mercedes on Trento Bondone, just to see what it does though. And I know this is unusual to do automatic, but I just want to see, because the thing is, like I said this morning earlier, is that I took the Maserati on the Trento Bondone track with automatic and was actually not bad though. So I want to see what this Mercedes does. SLS AMG. Man, but I love this freaking car though. Well, I'm saying that with every car. It sounds like every car I just love. It's just, I don't know who I am though. Semi slicks. No, let's do street. Let's do that. That fuel 50 liters. Although I don't think 50 liters, that's a bit too much though. Let's drop that to 40 liters. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's see. A little bit of wheel spin there. I'm not sure if you guys can see clearly on this angle. Let me know though. Whoop. Yeah, she wants to go. She wants to go. I'm gonna have to be very careful with the hairpins. Yeah, as I thought, I'm gonna have to be very careful with the hairpins. I'm actually surprised they didn't spin out though. I really am surprised they didn't spin out there. I'm insanely surprised about that though. To be honest with you. But man, she drove. Damn, she does good. Oh, come on. Yeah, just knock that. I think it's the nose. Sorry. Let's try this one more time, but just let's be a little bit more careful. I see on the GPS on the right hand side, I don't know if you saw that, but it looks like there was another road on the GPS though. So yeah, let's be a little bit more careful. You know what's awesome? That I cannot do it on YouTube. I'm not allowed to. But if you take this track, and if you are a race driver, or if you like sim racing or driving like I do, you take this track, you put on music on YouTube, and you just drive on this track. Do you know how freaking awesome that is? I did it this morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning, because I couldn't sleep, and it was just absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, that's absolutely amazing. So if you guys are drivers or you like driving and stuff like that, if you have a Assetto Corsa, do yourself a favor, put your vehicle automatic, put something on YouTube that you like listening to, and just drive this track. You'll thank me later. Because man, that is amazing though. Especially if you are like me that likes driving and just chilling and you're not in it for the competition. Then you'll actually, yeah, you'll love it. Oh man, but this Merc actually drives nice. I must be honest, if I had to choose between this Merc and the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, I'll definitely go with that Lambo. And the thing is, I'm not actually a Lambo fan. I love Ferrari. I'm a big Ferrari fan though. But I fell in love with that Lamborghini though, to be honest with you. That thing just is absolutely insane to drive in this game. Now, how that thing drives in real world, hopefully one day I get to experience that. But in this game, it's just absolutely amazing. Jeez, I did try to take that Lambo through the Trento Bondone track. But one mistake I made was basically doing it at night. So that was not a good idea, to be honest with you. A little bit of tire spin there. These two right hand corners, oh man, I thought about, damn, yeah, I just knew that was going to happen. Those two right hand corners you have to take about 50 to 60 kilometers an hour, unfortunately. So yeah, but you know what, we're still going. That's good. That is good. And I know normally I drive bonnet camera, but for some other reason, like I said earlier, this camera mode, for some other reason, it just helps me with the cornering though. I'm not sure why it is, but it feels like the car corners a little bit better or different. I'm not sure though. Like I do know sorry for that. I do know the nose is a little bit longer on the Mercedes, and I'm getting used to that. But still, I saw with that, oh, come on. Yeah, this is not a good run. But I saw with the, what do you call it? Woo! I saw with the Maserati. Yeah, the cornering is different. It's a lot different though. I actually want to try something though. Now that I'm thinking of it. Yeah, this might be a bad idea. Or a good idea. I think it depends on how you look at it though. But let's see. Let's see if this is a bad idea or good idea. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a clean lap out of this one. I think I can. I know I can. If I concentrate, I can. What are we gonna set though? Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. That is fine. That is fine. That is fine. Okay, let's see if we can get a clean lap. At least one clean lap. But I'm not going for, I think the best lap I did was a 12 minutes, no, 13 minutes, sorry, 13 minutes something. And I cannot, I think it was with, geez, now I cannot remember with what it was though. It was with something, I just cannot remember. I want to say the Audi, but I think I'm going to lie to you guys. Or maybe it was the Audi actually, the S1. Oh man, this thing is just absolutely amazing. Would I drive on this road like this in real life? Yes. If there was no other vehicles, yes. Definitely. And if I have insurance for the vehicle, yes. Then I would definitely do it. 100% I'll definitely drive like this. Like, I wouldn't risk the car, but I will definitely, sections I know that I can pull out like this section here though, yes, that I'll do. But other sections that you go slower, then you go slower. Might have been a bit too, almost a bit too quick. Oh jeez. Jeez Louise. You have to be so careful. Like I said, if you, I think 90% of just driving, I want to say well, okay, let's call it driving well, is knowing the track. Like, if you know your track, that helps you 90% of the time. And it doesn't matter if you drive a bad car then. Because the thing is, you know where to turn, you know where to brake, roughly. Where to turn, where to brake though. So that was 70 kilometers an hour. I was lying. Sorry for that. I know the second one was 50. For some other reason I thought the first one was 50 as well. But still. Because you know there's sections you can open up. And you know there's sections you actually must brake. Just to be careful. Ooh, that was a bit too close for comfort. Tires screeching on the brake there. Hairpin coming up. There we go. So I think if I can give my 2 cents, I would say if you really want to learn a track, take a, what do you call it? Geez, sorry, I was looking at my phone. Come on. That is not a clean lap, but it's fine. We can continue. What was it? Okay, yeah. Take a front wheel drive vehicle. If you really want to learn a track, take a front wheel drive vehicle or all-wheel drive vehicle and get on a track and make as many mistakes as possible. I know that sounds weird though, but that is how you learn your track though. Well, that's how I learn my tracks. Like what I'm doing now, just driving, making mistakes, trying to figure out what braking corners, what speeds, all those type of things. That is just that's how I learn tracks though. It might be, you know, it might be some other ways for some other people, like they've got different ways of doing it, but that is the way I know how to do it though. So I'm not sure like if some people do it theoretically, like they learn the track beforehand and then go on it. I don't know, it's just I like driving too much to do that. Obviously in real life that's a whole different ball game, but still. Man, I must really drive this thing with manual on this track. You have to be so careful not to spin out. And then this section here, this braking section is bad. If you mess this up, this wall on the left hand side, yeah, you're hitting that wall. That is a guarantee. And that's gonna hit, damn. I keep forgetting about that corner. For some other reason I keep forgetting about that corner. I don't know why though. Yeah, this is gonna be the one. And 2 minutes down the line, crashing. It'll be funny. Yeah, but this thing's got brakes. I'm very surprised, you know, for this car's brakes, especially if you take other vehicles with similar speed and similar acceleration. And this car feels a lot more stable, for a rear-wheel drive vehicle than any other car does actually. In this game though, to be honest with you. And I think that's why I fell in love with the vehicle though. Jeez, that was too close. That was way too close for comfort. It kind of, with the Lambo, it kind of feels like you're driving like an arcade car. I think I said it before as well. It really does feel like you're driving an arcade vehicle. Which is kind of weird though. But, I don't know, maybe they've... you know, if you're playing Call of Duty or something like that, you get your meta guns. Or if you're driving or playing the crew or whatever the case may be, you get your meta vehicles. I know this is going to sound weird, but I feel this is one of it. Like, this is a meta vehicle. And that's the thing, I don't like well, I never did, honestly. Like, Lamborghini and BMW was never my cars. I just hated the cars. And, yeah, honestly, I don't know, the more I have to do with vehicles, the more I love them. The more I love BMW, the more I love Lambo, the more I love Alpha. Yeah, it's just vehicles in general, I just love them. And like I said, soon I'm gonna get my track back. My Northcliffe, my Northcliffe track. Cannot wait to get my track back. As soon as I have money, I'm gonna get that track back. It's a DLC that you have to buy because I did check if you can download a modded track, but I don't see one. I only see skins for the track. So yeah, but as soon as I have money, I'm gonna get that track. Definitely, and I miss that track. That is actually my favorite track in the world. Is that Northcliffe? Northcliffe. Sorry, I almost said the Nürburgring, but it is Northcliffe Nürburgring endurance track. But I love the. No, I'm gonna. Was an accident. Damn. Too quick there. Damn it. Just need to work on my braking areas on this track a little bit more though. Oof. There we go. To be so careful. A little bit of sliding there. Funny enough, any other car you try that with, that rear end will come out. But this car's got so much stabilization, it's not even funny. No, my earphones are flat. Oh, come on, that sucks. It sucks. I might have to switch over to the speaker. You guys are still gonna hear, but I won't be able to talk anymore. Which is probably a good thing though. But at least I can see everybody's chat on my phone though, so if you guys do want to say hi though, I can see your chat on my phone. I'm using my phone to see the chat. So there's a big possibility I'm gonna have to switch over to the speaker because my USB cable is not long enough. But let me see if I can clear this first. Ow! I just knew that was gonna happen. I saw that coming when I just think, oh man. When I accelerated, I just knew that's coming. I just knew it. There was nothing I could have done there, but it's fine. Just want to finish this. That I need to get my earphones on charge, get the speaker in, that we can continue though. Yeah, that axle got damaged. I can actually feel it. Too late. Both axles are damaged. That's why you drive in manual. I'm still wondering what the time will be. I think it will be about 13 minutes as well, but yeah, we'll see. I think we're almost at the end in any case, so I think maybe 4 more turns, maybe? Or 4 more, not turns, but 4 more, what do you call it? Oh man, I cannot remember the word now. 180s or whatever you call it. Hairpins, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. So it's one. I think it's 4 more. One. Oh no, it's not. I was lying. It's just 1 more. Still wonder what's the time going to be though. 12:27. I think that's the quickest time ever though. Well, for myself. Not ever, for myself. Oh, did it record? Oh, it did record. No, it's not overwriting the. Because I think, you know why? Yeah, I think it's because of this. Yeah, I think it's because of that. And I also think it's because of the fact that I didn't crash. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put my earphones on charge. And I'm not going to speak, unfortunately. But you guys can still see the. But it is. So yeah, you guys will definitely still see the racing, but I'm gonna have to keep my trap shut because I don't have a way to speak. So I hope still you guys are gonna enjoy this. I'm still gonna continue, and yeah, I'll still drive. So yeah, enjoy.